Oh, where can my little dog be? She better be in there eating her dinner. She's 18 years old, I guess, this year. 17, 18. Our 10-pound Shorkie. She's a Chihuahua Yorkie mix. Anyway, she hasn't been eating well. Anyway, okay. There's a message about truth that's coming through. And just before I hit record, I heard truth in relationships, and the truth of my relationship, I've already told you guys. So there's some kind of truth that needs to be spoken out loud. This is not the same as sharing your plans with people. Not the same as that. I have a lot of plans for this year. A lot of plans that I'm not fucking telling anybody. Because until the moment arises that those plans are enacted, I have no reason to say shit. Why do I want to talk about it? I don't want to talk about it and potentially have my plans foiled. So what about the truth this evening, Spirit? Too many cards. Tell me, please. Thank you. The key to wisdom. Be of service and trust in science. Be of service. Trust in science. This card makes me think about the Six of Pentacles from the Thoth Tarot. What do we got down here at the bottom of the deck? Weave your reality. The psoriasis flare-up that I talked about the other day that I had to put the glove on. It's feeling better. I've had no carbs in the last 3 days. I am an unhappy, evil bitch right now because I can't eat sugar. But that steak I had for lunch yesterday was pretty good. The key to wisdom. Knowledge is power. But if that knowledge is not tempered by wisdom, it could be said that the knowledge and the power are wasted. Wisdom is the use of knowledge to improve ourselves and our lives in more than a material way, and to teach, help, and encourage others so their path is easier to walk. To be wise is to put knowledge to good use and improve our lives and the lives of others. The key to wisdom is knowing that you're here to learn and choosing to see a lesson in all that you do and experience, not just from books and practice. All right, be of service. To be of service, to be helpful or useful to others, to help for the benefit of others, the good of humankind or the planet. It is to be selfless and give without expectation that we will receive something in return. Oh, the Six of Pentacles. How would you like to help? Picking up rubbish on the beach, participating in volunteer work, fostering rescue animals, rehabilitating injured wildlife, advocating for a cause, or simply allowing someone else to pay for their groceries first. All are examples of acts of service. We also need to be mindful of the energy the energy exchange required by giving without expectation of reward. Make sure the emotional, mental, or financial cost is not more than you can afford or are willing to pay. You cannot be in service to anyone if you run yourself down. Be of service, but remember to look after yourself too. Trust in science. Science can be defined as the methodical study of the nature and behavior of the universe and all that dwells within it by making an observation, forming a hypothesis, and then testing the hypothesis through investigation and experimentation. Scientists, just like the rest of us, are not perfect. However, when it becomes clear that a hypothesis, an idea that explains a particular phenomenon or makes an educated guess, is flawed, they're willing to accept that they have made an error and invest more time in further study. A scientist accepts they don't know everything. They do not mind being proven wrong because it is the truth that matters. Facts matter. Be sure that you are obtaining your information from the most knowledgeable source. Trust in science. Science is just magic explained. And then weave your reality at the bottom of the deck, and I think we all know what that means. If you're new here, my name's Naoma. I very much dislike religion and the church because I believe that everything that we experience spiritually can be proven by science, and that science and religion cannot be separated. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Science and spirituality cannot be separated. So, what deck are we using this evening, please, Spirit? Oh, okay. No? All right. The Cosmic Seed Tarot. I thought they wanted the Awakening Tarot for a moment, which... Make sure you have all of your facts straight before you go sharing information. The key to wisdom and trust in science, then weave your reality, be of service. You know, I'm kind of feeling like, hold on. I'm kind of feeling like this. We weave our reality through the stories that we tell by authentically speaking our truths. That is how we create our reality. So if you've been mentally abused by a drug addict and that's all you know and that's all you tell people and you're not actively trying to change that, you will continue to be abused by drug addicts. However, when you recognize the pattern and you say, okay, that happened, but that happened because I was in a state of, because of, you start to take these things that have happened to you as an opportunity to learn and ascend and to teach. This was my truth, but my new truth is this was the lesson learned. But before I open my big mouth too far, let's wait. Today's date, February 25th, 2026. It's 2 + 7 + 1. It's a 10 day. It's a 1. Today's about new beginnings, initiations, new stories to be written. I opened this reading up with something about truth needed to be spoken. So, tell me about the key to wisdom. Nice. Oh my fucking God. The Lovers. Okay, it's choices. It's a major arcana, so this is a major thing that you've been through. It is a lesson that has been integrated. It's 6. It's a 6 card. 6s are about harmony, balance, beauty, love. The 6th house is about home and hearth. How are we taking care of ourselves? Tell me about be of service. 6 of coins. Equal give and take. Remember what the be of service card says. Don't give until you can't give anymore. You always want to be mindful of how much the energy exchanges. Like, if you go to the grocery store and it's $8 for a dozen eggs and you only have $6 in your pocket, well, then you're only going to get a half a dozen eggs because they're $3.50. Or you're just going to do without the eggs. Find a neighbor that has chickens, because a lot of times you get a dozen eggs for about $5. All right, tell me about trust and science. Tell me about trust and science. I'll take it. All right. Ooh, okay, we've got the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. The thing that's not fulfilling anymore is the knife that stabbed you in the back. You stabbed yourself in the back with that knife. Hold on. Okay, 10 of Swords. It says finality, a painful ending, possibly a betrayal, an ending to which there is no return, a spiritual death or transition. Learn from the situation, heal, and move on. Trust the science. Some kind of truth came to light about something that you believed in, that you were telling people, and you were proven to be wrong. So now it's time to, this is the 8 of Cups, move in a different direction. The key to wisdom, and it has to do with the Lovers. Tell me more about the Lovers, please. One more. Oh, I got 2 more. I got the Teacher, the Hierophant. That's the card before the Lovers. 5 of Swords. Page of Wands. Going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, flying through the sky, little Einsteins. Okay, this Page of Wands. This is a curious little fucker, and he's holding his wand. Like, what's the magic word to get it to do what I want? But we have, oh, I'm sorry, I said the 5. It's the 9 of Swords. There is something some choice that you made. And remember that every day, every waking moment is choices. from the moment that you open your eyes in the morning. Like, you made that choice to open your eyes, and that the eye opening is going to affect somebody's life in some way because of that decision that you made. So I'm also seeing the spider dangling from the corner here, and the spider here with Weave Your Reality. There's something about the story that you told yourself that the story that you told yourself, I think the Hierophant with the Lover's card, the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Wands. The key to wisdom. The Hanged Man. The Fool. Four of Cups. The Nine of Wands. No, this is the Nine of Swords. Yeah, Nine of Wands. Page of Swords. This is tough. The shift in your perspective is going to lead to your new beginning, but it's going to be it'll be the same cycle, but it's going to be a different layer of that cycle. The Four of Cups, dissatisfaction, apathy. The cup, there's a cup behind the tree. She's got 3 empty bowls in front of her. Cups. Tomato. In front of her that appear to be empty. And then there's this cup behind the tree. And she's like, no. The last time I fell for that, I spilled it. These arrived to me empty. And yet Spirit is trying to show this to you, and you're sitting there like, no fucking way, I'm not falling for that trick again. With the Nine of Wands. So because you're not falling for that trick again, you put up some boundaries. But I think what you're starting to see now is that those boundaries were preventing important lessons to be discovered. So you were blocking yourself. Don't sacrifice your new beginning to start this cycle all over again. The key to wisdom. The Lovers. We've got the Hierophant, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Wands. This is fresh, go-getter energy. No fucking idea where I'm going, but I'm going, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, regardless of this nightmare that I have created for myself, this story that I have told myself that is keeping me up at night. The Hierophant. This card. This is the card that comes before the Lovers in the tarot. Tradition. Higher wisdom. The key to knowledge. The key to wisdom. The choice. You made the choice to give and give and give and give and give and give, and people were walking all over you like doormats. I think there's something here about the quantum mechanics behind the twin flame journey. You're never going to come into contact with a twin flame. And I'm not going to say your twin flame, because everybody has the potential to be a twin flame for somebody else. Everyone. If the quantum is in alignment. We've discussed this before. Our energy field. Hey! Stop that. What are you thinking? Hazel. Our energy body, when it is in alignment and it is spinning the way that it's supposed to, and it's not off kilter because our root chakra is blocked or our third eye is blocked. When it's spinning and we are living fully submersed in the present, in the 0 point, where anything and everything can happen, when we're sitting in full alignment with that, lay down and shut up. Our Merkaba is spinning. Very much like the Earth spins on its axis, our Merkaba spins. Now, when our Merkaba starts to take off like this, and we're seeing the lessons. Well, this fucked up thing happened to me, but perfect example. I blew my car up 1.5 years ago. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to leave it here. My car blew up 1.5 years ago, and I didn't have the oil changed. It was almost a year. It was maybe actually, I think it was like 500 and something days that the oil hadn't been changed. I had it diagnosed by my friend Scott, and he pretty much said, you need to have your timing replaced, and you're in desperate need of a tune-up because all the oil had like congealed everywhere, and it was low on oil to begin with, so the timing chain got hot and it stretched, and that's what caused it to skip. Scott had just lost all of his mechanics, so he was going to be unable to do the work. And now this was going to cost me probably about $2,000. But he wasn't going to be able to do it, so he asked that I find another mechanic and have the car towed there. And I ended up at the shop that had my car for 1 year. Dude was a friend of ours. He was our next door neighbor for years. He was our next door neighbor. Our kids grew up together. They went to school together. Our kids are friends. He had done work. I had a 2006 Dodge Ram that had a broken, what the hell is that called? Rocker arm. Had a broken rocker arm. And every 6 months I had to take it in and have new coilovers put on it because it would lose the third and the fifth pistons, like would go off. They wouldn't fire right. So anyway, every 6 months I'd have to go in and get it done. And there were a couple of times that he did that for me. I had a 2013 Chevy Equinox that the heater coil and the windshield wiper motor went. He fixed that stuff for me. You know, we traded for dog grooming. It was easy stuff. I bought the parts. He replaced it, whatever. I was thinking when I called Jim that everything was going to be cool because nothing's ever not been cool whenever he did work for me previously. So I get it over to his place. And he started like changing all kinds of things. The car had already been diagnosed. First of all, I didn't need it to be re-diagnosed. We knew what was wrong with it. I didn't change the oil for almost 2 years. And the timing jumped and it needed to have a full tune-up done and all the fluids replaced. for a month he was trying to diagnose it. Well, did somebody put sugar in your tank because, you know, Adam's out there doing drugs and not paying his dope dealer, and bad things happen, and did this happen and did that happen, and I can't get it to turn over? Well, no fucking shit. So what happened, what ended up happening was, is he went ahead and did the tune-up. He changed all the coilovers, all the spark plugs. He drained the old oil, put fresh oil in it, and then tried to start it. Well, the timing was off. It was never going to start. He cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked and blew up my starter. We're in month 3 now. New starter put in. I have been nothing but patient up to this point. Put a new starter in it. Crank and crank and crank and crank. Blew up the new starter. Had to put another starter in it. I'm being patient and I'm being trusting, and I'm just kind of like letting the universe do whatever, right? I was in the midst of a very big healing journey when it came to my patience and my trust while all of this was going on. So months 4 and 5 go by, and still nothing. Month 6, somebody told me that I really needed to call him and kind of like check in, because at this point it was like dead air. And he was like, oh, well, it was like February of last year. It was right around the same time that I started my reconnection with Gary. So anyway, I called him and he was like, oh, well, you know, I got it to crank. It ran for like 2 minutes, but it wouldn't stop knocking. It was knocking and knocking and knocking. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I fucked it up. Well, let me back up. So that was February. In September, he told me that the only other thing that he had left to do was to put the new timing on it. So in February, he tells me he got the new timing kit, put it in, got it running for 2 minutes, and it was knocking so loud that he had to shut it off. It needs a new motor. Cool. Start looking for me a motor. Income taxes had just come through, so I had money to burn. I start talking to Gary. I never hear anything back from Jim. End of February, I'm moving out to Wytheville. Jim, I need my car. And I need my car like ASAP, because I can't leave here and not have wheels. Oh, I found a motor. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars, whatever. So I go to the bank. I get a cashier's check for $2,750, because I think it was like $2,300, and then shipping and handling. He tells me by the time it's all said and done, my bill's going to be like $4,500, and I was already giving him close to $3,000. So I should have only owed him like $1,500. Don't hear from him. Don't hear from him. The motor's lost. The motor's lost. The motor's lost. The motor's lost. I must have heard that for 2 months. I left him a message at the end of April, and I was like, I've put in my notice at work. I'm leaving Memorial Day weekend. I need my car back by Mother's Day. He sends me a text message with a picture of a motor, and then left it at that. Dead silence. Okay, plans have changed. I've decided that there's nothing within this relationship with Adam that can't be fixed, which that's a fucking lie too. And relationship with Gary's dead. Now listen, I'm still looking for love at this point. I'm still like hoping on a prayer that I've got it right. I had a bunch of downloads from the Cosmic Heart and whatever. Anyway, so back to Jim. What's up with my car? I'm not leaving now, but I would really like my fucking car back. He'd had it since August, since June. So we're like looking at we're at 11 months by the time we get to May. I ended up taking him to small claims court because I wanted my fucking car back. What are you doing? A year? A year? Really? I ended up taking him to small claims court, get my car back, win the case, and I had to get the cops involved to get my car picked up. At this point, Scott's got mechanics again, so he can just take the motor that Jim ordered and put it in my car. That ended up being a whole shit show. The lesson here was don't let fucking people walk all over you, man. Question everything. If it doesn't sound right, it's probably not right. You know, and I was like, the things that he was saying to me, because I do have pretty good knowledge of auto mechanics, right? But I'm not a fucking electrician, so I can't work on these new cars myself. Everything that he was saying to me seemed pretty legit until we got into month 6, and then it just sounded like gaslighting. It was a big lesson in using my discernment muscle. And when it comes to this twin flame journey, we all have to do the same fucking thing. We all have to listen to our discernment muscle. That discernment muscle is connected to the quantum field, which is connected to everyone. So the vibrations that you get, right? So the lesson here is the truth is that until you have a completely functioning root to crown, until you are fully functioning and unblocked, or actively trying to keep those energy centers open, and you do that through awareness, through presence, through observing your behavior. Where are you being reactive? What's setting you off? And reactivity doesn't always look like blowing up in the kitchen and throwing coffee cups. It doesn't always look like that. Sometimes it just looks like sitting here at the kitchen table with your phone doom scrolling because you're uncomfortable around the other person that lives in the house. And you're tired of dealing with the kids, and you don't want to do the dishes, and you don't want to clean the kitchen, and you're very apathetic. Okay? Sometimes that's what that looks like. What's causing you to react? What decisions are you making? And we really have to sit back and go, well, why am I doing that? In the case of my mechanic, the reason why I was doing that is because I'm such a giving person myself. But the downfall of that is that, you know, it became spiritual bypassing when I thought that the universe was going to sit there and handle it for me, and I didn't recognize that I had to get off my ass and actually do some legwork to get my car back. It's going to be the same thing in this twin flame journey, okay? In order to be able to get these energy centers fired up. Okay, you're going to have to go back about 10 or 15 videos because I really already talked about this. But you get this in full alignment, and you're standing in your confidence, and you're trusting the things that you're seeing, and you're trusting the things that you're hearing, and your clairs are all lit up, right? Those all take place here, but it's through detaching from the ego. And the only way that you can detach from the ego is to observe your behavior and then dig into the reason why you behaved that way. I was expecting a friend to treat me better than that. I was expecting a mechanic to know better than he did. I was expecting, and I should have never. The minute that he started getting disrespectful with me, and if anybody is in a position to be a twin flame, it's that relationship. We share a birthday. Our birthdays are the same. My daughter just came in. Hold on. the stars were aligned on our birthdays. He can't heal his trauma right now. It's not gonna happen. Yes? My Bertha fired up, and I was tired of putting up with his shit. The truth today is that I'm in love with one of my friends, and I'm never going to be able to tell him because I don't chase men anymore. If the stars come into alignment and he sees that I am also probably the person for him, then, then shit'll be different. But until then, I'm just going to keep doing this and advising you guys to get the fuck off the twin flame journey and start to understand the quantum science behind why these things happen, because you can't separate religion. You can't separate spirituality from science. It's been 35 minutes. They're home. The dogs are going crazy, so let me go. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.